It's official, the House of the Dragon series is coming to our screens in just a few short months. In HBO's Game of Thrones prequel series House of the Dragon, the Targaryen family's fabled heritage will soon be revealed. It's based on George R.R. Martin's Targaryen dynasty history, Fire and Blood, but whose era and kings will be brought to life in the series, and when will it be shown? Here's all we currently know about the show. Stay tuned to find out why the House of the Dragon series will be completely unlike Game of Thrones. First up, House of the Dragon release. A big question on viewers' minds, when will the spin-off series be released? Well, we all remember that the birth of House of the Dragon was a long and torturous route. HBO initially chose a completely different story for a spin-off set during the Age of Heroes. However, after filming a pilot with Naomi Watts, the project was cancelled. Then HBO surprised everyone by announcing that it has ordered 10 episodes of House of the Dragon. The prequel to Game of Thrones will be broadcast on August 21st, 2022. The show will run on HBO, similar to Game of Thrones, but it will also be accessible to stream on HBO Max beginning at the same time. What is the House of the Dragon about? So what will the show be about? What is the main storyline? The events of Game of Thrones takes place several hundred years after the events of House of the Dragon, 300 to be exact. It's based on George R.R. Martin's novel, Fire and Blood, which follows House Targaryen's reign from the beginning. The story begins with the invasion of Westeros' 7 kingdoms by Aegon I Targaryen. The Dance of Dragons will be subject of House of the Dragons, which will focus on a specific period in Targaryen history. It was a deadly and brutal Targaryen civil war 200 years prior to the events of Game of Thrones. This is more than a century after the capture of Aegon I. Additionally, House of the Dragon stars Olivia Cooke has revealed that the show will not feature the gratuitous graphic brutality against women that was prevalent on Game of Thrones. It will be very different in many ways to Game of Thrones. As we mentioned, there will be less controversial violence, more likely less raunchy scenes. It will be set in a completely different time period and will focus on different characters. As you can see, there are some major differences between Game of Thrones and House of the Dragons, and we can't wait to see how they put their own spin on the show. Now, the cast of the House of the Dragon. House of the Dragon, like all of Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire novels and its HBO forerunner, also features a big ensemble cast. The show's first formal cast member was Paddy Considine. He's portraying King Viserys I, the Targaryen king who, sadly, did not foresee the succession battle that would ensue after his death. Olivia Cooke, Matt Smith, and Emma D'Arcy play 3 of the series' most essential characters. And then there are the events that eventually split the Targaryen family. Cooke is Alicent Hightower, King Viserys I's second wife, who plotted to have her son sit on the Iron Throne. Smith plays Daemon Targaryen, Viserys' younger brother, the Rogue Prince. Princess Rhaenyra Targaryen will be played by D'Arcy. Steve Toussaint as Lord Corlys Velaryon, aka the Sea Snake, Eve Best as Princess Rhaenys Velaryon, Rise Ifans as Hand of the King Otto Hightower, and Sonoya Mizuno as Mysaria were among the first significant castings. Sir Criston Cole of Dorne, played by Fabian Frankel, is a key figure in the Civil War. Olivia Cooke, an actor from the upcoming prequel, almost spills secrets about House of the Dragon. Olivia Cooke of House of the Dragon jokes that if she speaks too much about the next Game of Thrones spin-off, she'll be murdered. House of the Dragon, created by showrunner Ryan Condal and co-showrunner Miguel Sapochnik, will premiere later this year as a prequel to HBO's legendary fantasy series. Cooke hinted to House of the Dragon's extraordinary level of secrecy in a recent interview with comicbook.com. HBO doesn't mess around when it comes to beloved IP, much like Marvel Studios' much hyped, though wholly imaginary Snipers. When asked whether she could preview what to expect from the series, Cooke joked, "I can't say anything. I don't know why people ask this question. You know, I can't. I'll be murdered." Cooke plays Lady Alicent Hightower in House of the Dragon. Alicent was reared in the Red Keep as the daughter of Viserys' Hand, Otto Hightower, and is characterized as the most comely woman in the 7 Kingdoms, with a courtly grace and a strong political acumen. Aside from character descriptions that are identical in a brief summary, little else is known as fans wait for the first official trailer for House of the Dragon. However, as previously said, written material set in the same time period gives spectators a fair sense of how the Game of Thrones spin-off would explore the Targaryen family's beginning to the end. Now, some questions fans have for the show. First up, the long night. Naturally, fans have questions for the upcoming show, so we thought we would share the most asked ones with you. Before HBO gave House of the Dragon the green light, it appeared that the basket was stuffed with long night scented eggs. The Naomi Watts-led film was set to premiere during the Age of Heroes, but HBO canceled it before it could reach the series stage. Is this narrative completely over? Although House of the Dragons will focus on a single historical period, any show can experiment with time-lapse. House of the Dragon may still serve as an HBO tentpole to set up future Westeros spin-offs, even if it doesn't return to a long-ago prequel as The Mandalorians did for Disney+. Next, the amount of dragons. One thing fans hope the show's creators remember is that the dragons aren't everything. Yes, Drogon, Viserion, and Rhaegal were fascinating and pivotal characters in Game of Thrones, but the show's appeal was derived from the political intrigue and character relationships. Dragons will undoubtedly be present in the House of the Dragon. It's right there in the name. However, fans are unsure how important dragons will be to the series. How many are there going to be? Will we get to see anyone mature and age? However, there is one component of the dragons that is much more important. Will it get the prequel curse? When it comes to prequel issues, one of the most common concerns among fans is whether House of the Dragon would defy the pattern of prequels prequels. The Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, and Star Wars have all had mediocre to disastrous prequels. Will Game of Thrones be next to fall prey to this tiresome pattern? There are reasons to believe in the show's artistic direction, even if Brian Cogman will be missed, and traveling back 3 centuries will help put things in perspective. However, there is still the risk that a franchise will be too fearful to move forwards rather than backwards. Why did the Targaryens end up going mad? The Targaryens have long been thought of as being genetically predisposed to go insane at any moment. The insane king emerged from the Dance of the Dragons, and it appears that this civil war was also fueled by this family's craziness. It has been speculated that this occurs as a result of the family's inbreeding. Other royal houses, on the other hand, have employed similar measures to ensure a strong family line, although they are not known for their craziness. Joffrey, on the other hand, was just as ruthless and insane, as well as being the result of incest. We've already discussed the family's madness, but how many members of House Targaryen are truly insane? A civil war, the likes of which have inspired songs and legends, does not begin with reasonable leaders in charge. It's very plausible that the members of the family responsible for starting this terrible conflict were both insane. We'd like to know if the kingdom was ruled in an extremely erratic manner during this time period, or if there were others who were able to bring the ship back to a slightly more stable course. And there you have it, everything you need to know about the upcoming Game of Thrones prequel, House of the Dragon. However, it actually is nothing like Game of Thrones and is taking its own spin on things. Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Are you excited to watch the House of the Dragon? Do you hope it still incorporates those aspects of Game of Thrones that we have come to adore? Will it be as graphic? Let us know. But if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching!